Anti-carbon tax protesters are taking their message direct to Canberra today. Busloads have arrived in the capital to vent their anger. They'll get some public backing from Tony Abbott, but the Prime Minister won't be there. She's spending the day inspecting renewable energy sources and talking to young activists who back her carbon tax. From Canberra, Susan McDonald reports on a day of duelling climate campaigns.
With a windswept plain as the backdrop, Julia Gillard continues her clean energy mission, one turbine at a time.
Well, turning it off is like Tony Abbott turning off action on climate change.
It was back on in seconds, accompanied by a message of determination.
If we are going to drive this clean energy future, we must price carbon.
Her campaign's been given a helping hand.
Here we have 12,000 signatures supporting action on climate change.
12,000, fantastic.
Yes.
Unions and environmentalists are on side.
We know that a majority of people in the community want to take action on climate change.
But Tony Abbott's People's Revolt is gathering pace too.
Well, there's a groundswell of people that have finally had a gutful.
Buses of protesters left Sydney this morning bound for Parliament House.
Everyone's fed up with it. And, you can't get away with lies all the time.
Well, hopefully it'll be peaceful and that someone will come out and acknowledge that we're there.
The opposition leader will. He'll address the coalition of anti-tax groups.
A one-sided carbon tax, a unilateral carbon tax, is an act of economic self-harm.
But the government's labelled the crowd climate change deniers and extremists, and they've bundled Tony Abbott in with them.
It's an appeal to extremism, and extremism will always be there in our community, but that doesn't mean we should agree with it.
As protesters make their views known outside Parliament, there's also disquiet among the business community. Some on the government's own carbon tax roundtable have labelled the consultation process a sham, but Julia Gillard insists she's listening.
I completely reject that suggestion. We are engaged in genuine and direct dialogue with business.
And anyone willing to listen.
Mr. Gillard, do you accept the science of climate change and what do you plan to do about it?
I certainly do accept the science of climate change.
Preaching to the converted. Susan McDonald, ABC News, Canberra.